Does your family have a big fish story? Somebody in your family who tells a story about that time that you caught a fish this big. And then the next time the story gets told, the fish has become this big, and so on and so forth? Well, this is perhaps one of the biggest fish stories that has ever been told. So here now is the big, big fish story. I love being a sturgeon. I mean, what's not to love? We've been around since the dinosaurs. Most of us men grow to be about 50 years old, which is pretty good for a fish. And a lot of the women fish, they live to be 150. That's even good if you're a tree. We live right here in the Great Lakes. We're usually about 7 feet long, sometimes even longer. My grandfather, Wilbur, used to love to tell us all kinds of stories. But there was one story in particular he would tell about human beings. Most of us don't even believe that human beings are real, but Grandpa Wilbur always did. It was even less common in his day, and this is the story that he would tell to us grandkids. My mother laid 2 million eggs, and of those, about 16 of us grew to be full-grown sturgeons. Me and my brother Derek swim around in the bottom of Lake Michigan, where we live up by Traverse City. And everything changed the day we saw the thing. Derek, what are we even looking at?
I have no idea, Wilbur, but I'm kind of afraid of it.
Do you think we should swim closer to investigate?
No! I mean, yeah.
Derek and I swam up, and it looked like it had large, like fish tails. And then there was this large stick part sticking out of the end, and it even had like an eyeball. Derek and I started getting a little braver, and we'd nudge it with our noses, and then we'd pick it up and fling it in the air. And then Derek poked it in the eyeball, and all of the tails went phew, and they flew out into a big circle, and we got scared. Derek, do you think it's going to try to eat us?
I don't know.
Well, maybe you should go investigate.
Maybe you should go investigate.
Okay. So I swam out, and it wasn't moving at all. Derek, I don't think it's alive. I think it's just a thing.
Oh, look, I could use my body and squeeze the big circle part to it being down flat again.
Well, what do you think it is? We should ask Mom. So our mom came over.
Oh, boys, I have no idea what this thing is. Sorry about it.
Mom, do you think that this came from the human beings?
No, I don't, because human beings aren't real, so it couldn't be from the human beings. Well, Grandma believes that humans are real. Your grandma's 150 years old, okay? Her brain is a little hoo-hoo.
Derek, maybe we should go visit Grandma and find out if she knows what this thing is.
You can write Grandma a letter. Just don't expect a good response, okay? Bye, boys.
Derek, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah, we're going to Grandma's.
Today might be the day that we find out once and for all if humans are real. So with that, Derek and I went all the way to the bottom of the lake and ate as many crayfish as we could find. and we took turns carrying the thing, whatever it was, in our mouths. And we swam all the way up and around under the Mackinac Bridge until we were entering into Lake Huron. We swam all the way to Grandma's house. Grandma, it's Wilbur and Derek, your grandsons.
Wait, who are you again? Grandma, we're your grandsons, Derek and Wilbur.
Oh, well, whatever you say. Hello, boys. What can I do for you today?
Grandma, have you ever seen one of these before?
No, I haven't, but it's called an umbrella. If you've never seen one before, then how do you know what it's called?
I've never seen a black hole in outer space either, but I still know what one is.
Well, Grandma, do you know, are these from the human beings?
Yes, terrible, brutal savages, but very much real.
Well, what makes them so bad, Grandma?
Well, human beings, as I'm sure you've heard before, they put a lot of bad water into our very good water, and it killed off a lot of us sturgeons.
Oh, that's really terrible. Anything else?
Yeah, they also used to eat us. They haven't done that since about the 90s, but they'd scoop us up right out of the water and end our lives and take our eggs and all sorts of terrible things.
Anything else?
Yes, they also can shoot fire out of their butts.
Wow, that's really impressive. So do you know what they use this thing for? Is it like an implement of torture or something like that?
I haven't the foggiest idea how a human being uses an umbrella. And there's only one creature in all of the Great Lakes that I know who might have an answer.
Tell us, Grandma, you've got to tell us who it is.
Well, her name is Bessie the Sea Monster, and she lives in Lake Erie.
Do you mean to tell me Bessie the Sea Monster is also real? Humans and Bessie in one day?
This is blowing my mind.
Yes, I would advise that you get rid of this umbrella as quickly as you possibly can.
Oh, but Grandma, we just have to know if humans are real or not. And I don't think we're going to be willing to give up until we find out.
Ah, yes, you boys are stubborn, just like your grandmother. Well, let me tell you, here's how to find Bessie. Go to Lake Erie and then start to ask around. She'll be hard to miss. She's a giant sea monster.
Oh, thanks, Grandma. We'll see you later.
And with that, Derek and I swam off. Through a little inlet, down through Detroit, another little inlet, and then we had arrived in Lake Erie. We started asking any fish that we saw, "Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to Bessie the Sea Monster?" "No." "Okay." "Excuse me, can you tell me how to find Bessie the Sea Monster?" Oh boy. Most fish would just swim away, giving us a weird look. But every once in a while, a fish would just sort of point a fin and go off in the opposite direction. Derek and I would just swim wherever they were pointing their fins. We were getting really close to Cleveland now, and I could tell that Derek was getting kind of scared. You doing okay there, buddy?
I guess so.
Are you more afraid of meeting Bessie or of being near Cleveland?
I guess it's a tie, maybe.
Yeah, me too. We came to a part where the lake suddenly just went down, down, down to a spot where we saw Bessie's gigantic body. Every breath she took, her whole body would go. I went up close to one of her eyes where she was sleeping.
Excuse me, Miss Bessie. We're two sturgeons from Lake Michigan, and we have a question for you. Her eye opened a little bit, and then shot open.
Who dares to disturb my slumber?
We do, Miss Bessie. I'm Wilbur, and this is Derek.
What are you doing here?
Well, our grandma Harriet from Lake Huron, she said to us, she said you could maybe help us a little bit.
Oh, like Harriet? Oh, you guys should have led with that. Hi, come on in. What's going on?
Well, actually, Miss Bessie, we were hoping that you could tell us more about this.
An umbrella?
Yes. Do you know what it's for?
Yeah, human beings use it for rain.
Well, what's rain exactly?
It's when little pieces of the lake fall and hit you in the face.
But we're always having the lake touching our face at all times, though.
Yeah, this is where the whole thing breaks down for me, too. But yeah, barbaric creatures, those humans.
Are they really?
Oh, yeah, they pollute, they eat humans, they shoot fire out of their butts. You really got to watch out for those people.
Miss Bessie, do you know where any humans are?
Well, of course I do. I'm a sea monster. Every year on Halloween, I swim up and scare the dickens out of them. Oh, it's great fun.
Miss Bessie, will you take us to the humans?
I really can't do that in good conscience, boys. They are very dangerous. But if you've got your mind made up, I can show you where you'll find some.
What do you say, Derek? Are we gonna do this?
I don't know, but brothers gotta stick together. Miss Bessie, take us to the humans.
And Bessie led us off. We went deeper into Lake Erie, almost to Lake Ontario, to a spot where there were giant rivers shooting all the way up in every direction. I just sort of picked one and started swimming, and the waters were very, very strong. Derek, you doing okay?
I'm getting really, really sleepy.
Me too. What do you think? Do we need to take a little break?
Yeah, I think I need a little nap.
And so we found a little cove. And just as I was starting to fall asleep, I looked up, and there was this beautiful, delicious crayfish floating in front of my face. Oh, hey, you look delicious. And so I just reached up and I took a bite of it. And all of a sudden, my whole body was going up through the water until my body had come out of the water, and I was looking up at a human being.
Whoa.
Excuse me, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Sure. Can I ask you a couple of questions?
For starters, are you gonna eat me?
No. 2 reasons. Number 1,
it's against the law, and it has been since the 90s to catch you. And you talk, so feels like a double whammy.
Moral compass, I like it. Is it true that you guys put a lot of bad water into our water?
Yeah. Not me personally, but it's true that we humans have not always been very kind to you, sturgeon. And I know we used to capture you and eat you and take all your eggs, and I'm really, really sorry.
Thanks for that. Is it also true that you shoot fire out of your butts?
No. I mean, sometimes it feels like that, but not actual fire. Is it true that you, sturgeon, can live to be 150 years old?
Yeah, my grandma Harriet, she's 150.
And is it true about Bessie the sea monster?
Yeah, we were with her like an hour ago. I can tell you said hi if you want.
That's really cool.
I have one last question. Stay there, BRB. And I went down and I got the umbrella. Can you tell me about this?
An umbrella? Where did you get an umbrella from?
Lake Michigan?
You came all the way here from Lake Michigan? This story is getting weirder and weirder all the time.
You're telling me. So how does it work?
Okay, well, first I loosen the flap, and then I push the button, and then you see that it kind of goes out like this.
And you use it so that the pieces of the lake don't hit your face, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say so. Yeah, when the rain falls from the sky.
And just then I heard a sound that was like an angry daddy otter that just went like,
oh, what a coincidence. We're gonna get to try it out right now. So here, come close to the boat and see, when we're under it, the water doesn't hit us.
Oh, I get it now. Okay, you're not bad for a human being. My name's Wilbur.
Hey, Wilbur, I'm Derek.
Derek, that's my brother's name. No way, he's just like right down there.
Wilbur, do you mind if I keep this umbrella?
You probably do need it more than 2 adolescent sturgeons. All right, see you later. I swam back down to tell Derek about what had just happened, and he didn't believe a word of it. So we started swimming back, and we found some nice rivers up, and we came out by Ludington and back into the Great Lakes. And I was really glad to finally figure out the truth about human beings.
To the end of my grandfather's life, anytime anybody said anything mean about humans, he would jump in and stick up for them and actually tell everybody that he believed in them too. It was amazing because his story got bigger and bigger as the years went by. At first, he swam to Lake Erie, and then a few years later, he was telling us he went to Lake Ontario. By the end of his life, he'd swum all the way to China to meet the human boy that he told the story about. Even today, a lot of us don't believe that people are real, but I think our prejudices are softening a little bit. Kids don't think of human beings as being quite as bad as their parents once did. And, well, this old boy is here to tell you that someday I too would love it if I had a chance to meet a human being. The end.